I want you to listen to me. So he shared the word momentum, okay? This is one of the most valuable words, ideas for you to grasp because, like, look, so, it came off, competing, right? Many of you guys followed the journey. I told you that, so for a year I was like all in, I gotta be careful how I describe it, the phrase that I use with the ladies in the room, but just, max to the wall, like you get the point, like all in 100%. And then when it came time, to prep for the show, it was 20 weeks. And so just to give a little context for those who don't know, right, it was 20 weeks of 6 meals a day. Every single thing that I consumed was measured to the T, right, to the T, to the gram. Nothing, I did not consume a single thing that wasn't measured. If I was supposed to have 40 grams of oats on the scale, if it was 41, I was, perfect, done deal. Everything from what it was seasoned, every single thing to the T. Coupled with a certain amount of sleep, coupled with a specific amount of water. And all of this is, when it comes time to the end to compete, is very scientific. You're manipulating water, you're manipulating sodium, you're manipulating carbohydrate. And so if you don't know, well, how much water was I consuming? You don't know how much water to increase, how much water to decrease, when to cut the water, the whole nine, right? Scale, everything. Pictures every single week. At the end, it was pictures every 48 hours, and then it was 24 hours, to monitor the whole nine, right? And here's the thing to understand, and this is just a big part of the way that I operate and a big part of where that success in getting in shape, comes from. That number one, in the 20-week diet, right? In the first 4 weeks, you barely see any difference. You barely see any difference, right? And mentally, psychologically, you start to say, like, this isn't working. Like, it's not working, this is crazy, right? And even though, like, the beauty is, this was my 10th contest over the years. Like, the beauty is, for me, with that kind of experience, similar to Damien's experience in business, my experience in business, right? I knew what to expect. So I knew, like, this is the stage, and I would tell him, like, I'm gonna come up to the stage soon where, I'm behind, it's not fast, I'm not losing weight, blah, 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 blah. I knew in the beginning, that, like, the changes were gonna be negligible, right? Like, insignificant, right? And so I was prepared for that. The beginning, it is slow. The beginning you have to give the thing that you're doing, right, the opportunity to gain traction, to gain momentum. If you start making decisions about the plan in the first 4 weeks, you're making decisions prematurely. You haven't given it the time to gain traction. Throughout the years, Damien has heard me, say in various instances, relax, patience, right? Like, even with a launch, we'll go in the early days, in the very early days, we would go live and, like, we're an hour in or 2 hours in and it's not happening. Relax, we just got started. Like, we just got started. Just trust me, relax, it's coming. It's coming, right? Knew what to expect from experience. It's the same thing with a business strategy, right? And then I knew, right, then there's this phase, this weird phase, just to kind of bring you to completion on this. Then there's this weird phase where, when you're getting ready for a bodybuilding contest, where because you have to drop carbohydrates, your muscles get flat, right? Because you deplete all, glycogen, stored carbohydrate, and you're not really lean yet. So now, right, you almost look worse. I would say you do look worse. You're like this flat, depleted, and you're, physique, your muscles are flat, and you're still carrying body fat. And now you start to go through this mental phase where you're like, I look worse. So I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I need to up my calories. Maybe I need to decrease my calories. Maybe I need to change my cardio. Maybe I need to back off on the weight training. Maybe I need to take an extra day off. Well, you know what? If you succumb to that, you're prematurely making a decision. You have to go through that messy, ugly, scary phase. You have to go through that ugly, messy, scary phase. And you have to fight that inner dialogue of, it's not how, oh man, things are not going according to plan. You have to fight that. See, I knew what to expect. I knew it was coming. I knew it would happen. And so when that came up, I was like, no. I said to Damien, I always said to him, this was the thing that I always said, I am in machine mode. Machine mode means I don't think. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not entertaining that. I don't care what pops into my head. I know that that's a game. Like, I know that all that is in my head, right? All that is in my head. I know that this is part of the process, just like with business. Just like with business. Key being, you have to remain consistent and you have to give it the time to gain traction and momentum. And then what happens is you make it through that. Most people, I'll tell you, most people that attempt to compete for the first time, they enter that phase, done, throw in the towel. They cannot withstand the mental aspect. That's what breaks them. Just like that's what breaks many entrepreneurs. Right? They break, they change the strategy. Right? Oh, it's messy. Oh, things are getting worse. Oh, it's not there. It's not happening. It's not working. Boom, change strategy. Let's do that challenge. Let's change it. Oh, the hook. Let's change it. Let's change the price. They're so quick to succumb to that internal dialogue. They're just not mentally tough enough to just say, no, I'm going to stay the course. Why? Because I know that what's coming in the next stage is momentum. And then in the last 4 weeks, it's daily changes. Like every day, you're getting tighter, you're getting harder, you're getting leaner, right? Like the weight is coming off, you're looking sharper, you're looking crisper, and it just picks up from there. Like, it's unbelievable how in the last 48 hours, you could change hour to hour. Right, your skin when competing, your skin is that thin. There's no water in between your skin and your muscle. Like, you're changing hour to hour. But imagine if you would have succumbed to those internal issues and never allowed yourself to get to that point of momentum. You would never experience that. You have to be mentally tough enough to say, you know what, I'm committed. And this is the important part, right? That I would say to Damien, I said to him at one point, like, look, I could go to YouTube and when I was eating, I would watch some YouTube videos, and in the beginning I was watching YouTube videos of this guy's plan for, the last week, this guy's plan for the last week, and then I was like, wait, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time here because I know the plan and I ain't changing the plan. I'm committed to the plan. And right, I know that if you constantly change the plan, that's the worst thing you could do. Like Damien said, you kill all momentum. Right? If you're constantly changing your diet, you're killing any potential for momentum. If you're constantly changing your exercise program, you're killing any potential for momentum. If you're constantly changing your business model, you're killing any potential for momentum. If you're constantly changing your marketing model, you're killing your potential for any momentum. At some point, you have to be committed, go all in, go into machine mode, and go through that darkness. Go through that darkness. The reality is, right, is that if you lined up 12 top marketers, great marketers, and you asked, what is your marketing model? You're gonna get one person that says low ticket front end. You're gonna get one person that says launch. You're gonna get one person that says we're all email. You're gonna get one person that says quiz funnel. You're gonna get one person that says challenge. And you know what? They each work. They all work when done right, when executed right? And so, but it's committed to it. Commit to it, be disciplined with sticking with it, right? Go all in on it and give it the opportunity to gain momentum, period. Rich doesn't exercise the way I do, and he looks great, right? But he's consistent with it, right? He's all in, he's relentless with it, it works. I always say, everybody's like, what's the diet that you follow? I'm like, dude, that ain't the answer. Like, that's not the answer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? Like, reduce your calories and stick to it. And come back to me in 2 months. Period. Like, the problem is not the thing. The problem is the people not sticking to the thing. The problem is the people constantly reaching this point where they're like, it's not working, it's not changing, it's not fast enough, it's not happening. There's something better. There's something better. There's something better. Right? Like, there's something better. And I always say, you know what? Like, look, this is, right? Get this. And then I want to go back to you, right? Maybe there is something better, but I know that if I stick to this, I'm gonna get great results. Maybe there is a way, right, for me to get faster results. Maybe there is a way for me to make it easier, right? Maybe. But I also know that if I constantly hunt for that and constantly change to that I'm killing momentum. And so I'm gonna stick to this because I know that it works. There might be something better. There might be something easier. but every time I switch, I kill my potential for momentum. So for crying out loud, stick to something, commit to it. This is the value of, this is why commitment and discipline, disciplined thinking, disciplined action is so valuable. Because right, we could sit here and talk about funnel models, they all freaking work, man. They all work. The problem is that people don't work them consistently enough and long enough to gain the traction. Mike, you had one funnel model that you worked on for like 6 months or whatever, 7 months to make work. One. Imagine what would have happened if he would have worked on it for 6 weeks or 8 weeks and then some challenge. Worked on it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's not working. Next thing, launch. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, works on that, right? You know where he would have been at the end of that 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, in the same exact spot he was at the beginning. Pick it, stick to it, and allow for momentum.